Manani. I chose this life and now I must continue it.
So at the end of 2 years, we had 2 best-selling books, this documentary on the way. The Malala Fund was a growing organization that did advocacy and grant making in education around the world. And in late 2014, we got the call that Malala had won the Nobel Peace Prize. This is a photograph from Oslo at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony. You see Malala at the back with her family, some of the Malala Fund team, myself at the front, and with her Kailash Satyarthi, the Indian gentleman with whom she shared the Nobel Peace Prize. He had spent his life fighting child slavery. And as I watched Malala on that pulpit that Martin Luther King and Mother Teresa had spoken from, all of 5'2" with her headscarf, I knew that we had shattered stereotypes about what courage looks like and what girls can do if they're given an education. And with Malala safe and healthy, and the Malala Fund growing in impact, I knew it was time for me to once again get outside my comfort zone and innovate with greater urgency. We had told Malala's story with impact and inspiration, and I still believe storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to put ideas into the world, but we now needed to execute effectively against those ideas. I had witnessed the power of entrepreneurship and technology, and I kept thinking back to that. I began to meet entrepreneurs with big ideas in education, healthcare, financial inclusion, and other massive social challenges. They reminded me of Malala. They had a bold vision, but they needed to bring it to life. They needed funding, networks, technology, mentorship. I realized that we, as social justice warriors, need to be equipped with the tools of our time. And I came full circle, with Malala's blessing, moving back to California to launch an early-stage investment fund with an audacious idea to invest in technology businesses that would change the world. The other Malalas, leaders with bold visions in education, healthcare, financial inclusion, e-commerce, work, wellness, and more. What I want to share from this pivot, I think, is that when you are bringing change, I urge you to look at the tools you are using and choose tools that will maximize your impact. If you are a photographer, use your camera, a lawyer, your skills in the justice system, a poet, your words, an investor, your investment portfolio, and the values that it represents. And then partner with others with complementary skills to scale up your work. And now that brings us to today, as I stand here with you in this community of service. We are alive in a time of infinite possibilities, but also of deep injustice. At a time when science and technology are allowing us to re-engineer the human genome, put robots on Mars, create self-driving cars, increase lifespans by decades. At a time when the Southern Poverty Law Center has documented rising hate crimes in America, when white supremacists are emboldened, cruel and hateful symbols like swastikas are appearing around America, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia is rampant, and families are being torn apart as hardworking, tax-paying Americans are deported from the only home they have ever known. There is a greater need than ever before to come together, to evolve from fear to love, from otherness to togetherness. Do not be overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. As the Sufi poet Rumi said, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. You are here supporting NCJW because you understand the power of education to transform lives. Education is the greatest equalizer in the world. We must never doubt that the cure to cancer or Alzheimer's may exist within the mind of a girl somewhere in a rough neighborhood in Dallas who was never told she could study medicine, or that the next Martin Luther King with unfathomable ideas to change humanity for the better may be in school right now but feeling alone and incapable. We must never doubt when we commit to furthering education, even one person, that our work is transformative, and we cannot even begin to imagine its ripple effects. Now, I know that moments like these are inflection points, but as time passes, as life goes back to routine, and we become burdened with responsibilities, we sometimes forget what we have resolved to do, what we have resolved to change. So instead, I'm going to ask you to pause with me as I end my remarks and capture this moment with a brief meditation. So if you would all close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and feel your heartbeat. Imagine for a few seconds the impact you want to have as a human being and as a leader. What will be your legacy? Now ask yourself, what is one simple thing you can do to start to create that impact? And now, as you feel your heartbeat, commit to taking that step for someone who needs your courage, who needs your voice. Because as your heart beats alongside that of everyone else in this room, you know that we are all connected in ways far deeper than we can fathom. You can open your eyes now. Thank you so much. It has been my absolute pleasure and honor to be here with you today, and I wish that I could speak to each and every one of you, but if there is anything that I can do to support your work, I'm going to share my email. Please be in touch. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you, NCJW, and thank you to all of you.